Brilliant. Thanks, Sally and Mary. That was great. Oh my goodness. Hi, everyone. Lovely to see you today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Antonia, and I haven't done a mic talk for like forever. So can you all hear me? Yes. Amazing. I'm used to sort of having to sort of shout to be heard at the back of a like assembly halls. So this is having a mic's amazing. Also, perils of Bible translations. So I like to use the Message. That's the Bible that I generally feel most comfortable with, and I checked it through in the other translations. But Sandra, I'm sorry for giving you such a brutal reading there. Like, I heard it back and I was like, whoa, what have I said? But don't worry, it's me. It's me using the Message and being like, it's so sorry, but don't worry, I'm coming back to it in the talk. It's all good, we're all okay. So, thank you so much for having me today. I just want to go back to a little bit earlier on in the year. Put your hand up if you did the Wellbeing course. Amazing. I did it too. And if you did it online, hello. I don't know where the camera is, but hi. It was great doing it with you. It was literally one of the loveliest things that I did during lockdown with church. It was nice. I was so grateful that you guys put it on. It was just very much needed. And I really enjoyed us taking time each week. You know, we were still separated from our loved ones at that time. It was April, May. We weren't able to meet in groups. And during it, I emailed Chris and I said, can I come to church and talk about well-being? And he was like, yes, you can, in October. And I was like, okay, cool. Anyway, yeah, a long time. But I was delighted with this because, let me tell you, Past Antonia is an expert in well-being. I've overcome all sorts of obstacles to better my mental health. So I was like, yes, brilliant. Now, here's the thing. I was super lucky to start lockdown on like a bedrock of time invested in building my resilience and kindness to myself. I'd been through a real low, and I'd really got no option but to sort of work out how to be kind to myself and get out of this hole I was in. So we'd gone to the first lockdown, and I've got young children. So basically, had no choice but to just get on with it. Just had to keep going, and I knew I was just in survival mode, but also I'd been putting all of these useful things in place. So I was like, it's all good, it's fine, I'm okay. Now fast forward to this last couple of months, and I'm absolutely terrible at well-being. And it's affected how I feel about myself. And in my shame, I've not been talking to myself very nicely. I've just been internally shaming myself. I'm not talking to friends about it because it's been locked down, we're all exhausted, I've weathered worse. Everyone's got it worse in various different ways. It's so complicated right now. You know, why am I finding this so hard right now? And what prompted me today to share was that in Christian circles, we're so good at talking about God's love for us. Thank you, God, because your love is amazing. We're so good about talking about God's love for us. And the transformation that I've experienced at times through God's love for me has been mysterious and miraculous. But we're less good at applying our own love to ourselves. We talk about loving your neighbour as yourself, but when you're talking to yourself, are you loving yourself? Are you kind to yourself? Are you judging yourself? Now, I got to go on a walk earlier this week. I've been working most of the week, so I missed most of the half term with my kids, but on Friday, I had a day off and I was able to go to the Ashdown Forest with them, and it was lovely. We started off at the top of the hill, and we walked down the hill, and it was lovely. We saw loads of mushrooms and fungi. It was absolutely beautiful. I was just like, oh, this autumn, how wonderful, amazing. Anyway, at the end of our walk, we had to go back up the hill. And I have a daughter and a son, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. My daughter was like, Daddy, what we're going to do is we're going to have a race. And I'm going to team up with you, and Mummy's going to team up with Wilf, and we're going to race back up the hill. And so they started going up the hill together. And Mabel was like, oh, they seem to be ahead of us. And Mike was like, don't worry, Mabel. Slow and steady wins the race, just keep going. Anyway, Wilf, at this point, he was like, this hill is high. So he did this. And I was like, mate, we're in a race. We're in a race. They're going to beat us, and we've just got to keep going. And also, there's no way I'm carrying up that hill. It was really steep. Lovely to run down for them, but horrible to climb back up. So Mabel and Mike were going, come on, Wilf. Come on, Wilf. And Wilf was still like, and I was like, oh, come on. Right. So I had to just be like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going up the hill. I'm sorry, I'm not carrying you, but I'm going to be with you every step of the way. So okay, I'm standing you up. Okay, come on, we're going to do this. I know you're really tired. I know, it sucks. But look, come on, we just got to keep on going. I know you're tired. And I was like, I'm tired. This is hard. This is hard climbing this hill, and I'm having to drag you up here with me. Anyway, we got up to the end of the hill eventually, and I was like, you did it. Well done, you did it, yes. And then I did this. I was like, because I was really tired. I'm going to stop doing that now. But lovely clean carpets, great job. Yeah, I was knackered. It's hard taking people through things, but honestly, this September, I've been Wilf. That's been me. And everyone's been going, come on, you can do this. And I've been like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go. I know you're all up there. Everyone's gone back to work. Everyone's gone back to school. I know you've all gone back up there, but I'm down here. And yeah, it sucked. I've been being an absolute banana to myself. And it's impacted how I've shown up in all areas of my life. I've been procrastinating from work, shied away from seeing people. I managed to spend the whole of last weekend arguing with my husband, which was an incredible start to a much-needed half-term. And it was even worse, because we were like, oh, we're all coming back into church. It'll be a nice thing if we team up and we do the coffee rota together. That's nice. It's not nice when you're having an argument. Ugh. So very sorry anyone who had to witness me last week, because I was not fun, and neither was Mike, but never mind. Sorry, babe. Okay. I'm bringing it up because our conflict was prompted by me just abandoning everything helpful that helps me enjoy my life and basically be pleasant to be around. So what I'm sharing today, I know that these practices benefit me, they calm me, and they help me reshape my very initial wonky brain programming that I received as a kid. So I'm going to share a little bit about brain development now with you. We've gone from walking, and now we're going to brain stuff. I'm obviously not a brain expert, but I will tell you the little I do know about it. So basically, from ages 0 to 7, our brains are operating in their subconscious. We're in a state of programming our life's mindset. So as parents, this is cool because, we can have a real impact on our children at this point, setting them up with a foundation for life. As parents, this is really uncool because we can do scary damage, and we have to be really aware of not causing terrible problems to them. But also, we can really set them up for life, and that's amazing. That's a cool opportunity. How we talk to our children, how we're spoken to at this age, between 0 to 7, is literally shaping our brain. How we carry ourselves through our children's tantrums and life stresses, how we respond to those difficult moments, our children can carry that with them when they respond to the stressful moments in their life too. And if we're looking after ourselves and talking to ourselves with calmness and kindness, they learn to self-regulate and calm themselves too. It sets up how they talk to themselves. And just like we talk to our own children, the way we talk to ourselves can often be the way that maybe we were spoken to as children. And we might repeat the things that our families believed about us to ourselves. We might believe them. And this is great when we're gentle and affirming, but we can wire our kids' brains negatively when we're not conscious about how we talk to them. So just quickly, as a little brackets, if you're thinking, but my child is over 7, so how is this helpful? Do not worry, because throughout life, we always have an opportunity to repair and restore. everything's all good, and we always can reset our own mind, but it takes, it gets harder, we have to be intentional about it, we have to practice it, we have to get into a groove where we're kind of really practicing that pattern. But when we practice these habits of kindness to ourselves and share the tools that we use, we can influence each other positively. But, for us, that belief has to come from ourselves. Like, we're the only ones who can rebuild our brains to love ourselves. It can't come from my kids. It can't come from my spouse. It can't come from my family. It can't come from my friends. It's got to come from me. I'm the only one who can do that work, and it sucks. But when I do it, it's amazing. We reap the dividends in my life. It's a great investment in myself. So the thing is, we all have an inner voice, and if the voice in your head tells you that you're no good or unlovable, those ideas, that doesn't come from you. It definitely doesn't come from God. It's an unhelpful idea that someone's put in your head, and you've repeated it, and you kind of believe it, and you're paying heed to this thing that isn't true. It doesn't make you feel good, and it doesn't come from God. So at these points, I sort of go, what unhelpful beliefs do I hold about myself? What have I been told about myself that isn't true? And what can I consciously choose to believe about myself? When we were doing the Wellbeing course, one of the things that we kept coming back to was the importance of practicing and spending time developing new habits, 30 days at a time, just building them in slowly. And I really believe in building things in slowly, one at a time. You can't do it all at once, it's too much. But you can just gradually add things into your toolkit and integrate them and get it to be a part of your process, just a habit, something you do. I've found real benefit in using daily writing prompts over that kind of time period of 30 days to gradually shift my mindset and and literally change my neural plasticity. Whoa, I'm throwing a big thing in there. Neuroplasticity, I'm saying a big phrase, and Mike was like, Antonio, you don't even know what neuroplasticity is. But basically, it's our brain's way of adapting and forming new neural connections to benefit our mental well-being. The 30 days is because change is not a quick fix. In order to rewire the neural pathways in our brains, repetition is key. In order to alter our mindset in regards to life and about ourselves, that consistency is what helps us remold our brains. I brought my future self journal along today. Mike was like, nobody knows what that is either. Sorry, Mike, I'm using you as a punchline today, but you're dealing really well with it, thank you. So I use a series of daily journaling prompts to help shift my mindset. Now, I started this over a couple of years ago when I was feeling really rock bottom. I wasn't really sure if my life had any permanency, if anything, I just couldn't see where anything was kind of going. There was nothing to kind of really be anchored to. I didn't really know where to go or what to do, and all I knew that whatever happened, ultimately I needed to get a hold on myself, on my trust, in myself, and of myself to move forward. And one of those things, as I was thrashing around, sort of looking for solid ground to settle onto, I found some daily journaling prompts. Now, the ones that I use are from Dr. Nicole LaPera. She's not a Christian, so I understand that that might not be for everyone, and that's fine. But I do think that outside of, there's really helpful stuff that's not just Bible-focused that can really help us, give ourselves helpful life habits. So it's pretty simple stuff. It's just considering behavior or patterns in my life that I wanted to change, thinking about affirmations as positive positive statements that I can make that might help me achieve this, and considering how I can practice these behaviors in daily life. So each day, over 30 days, I consider, just open it up, what pattern or behavior do I want to change? And I'll think about that. It might be that I want to respond to things less reactively. It might be that I just want to practice a habit of like interrupting negative thought if I have that about myself. I'll say my daily affirmation. I have a few, but one thing I found very calming to say to myself is, you're safe and loved. And like, be like, you're safe with me. Like, I love you, Antonia. You're safe with me. Like, God has got you, and I'm here too. And I'm not sort of that's not me putting myself in a good position. That's me saying, I'm going to be here with you the whole way. I'm right here with you. And like this morning, I was sort of lying in bed under the duvet being like, I have to talk in church this morning. And I was like, yeah, I know, you've got to talk in church this morning, but I'll be there. It's going to be great. And I was like, yeah, I know, but also, and I was like, I know, but, come on, we got this. So, I say my daily affirmation, you're safe and loved. I list 3 things I'm grateful for. Today, it's an opportunity to share this with you. That's pretty cool, thank you very much. And it's been grateful for like the hard conversations I've had to have this week. And also, I planted some garlic with my son last week, and it's already got sprouts. Like, it's amazing. So those are things I'm grateful for. Then I write down 3 traits that my future self will have. I would like to have a calm presence, courage, and perseverance. And then I think about the person I'm becoming. What would I like them to experience more of? I'd like them to experience more joy, more loving self-discipline, more making conscious choices. And I think about, when do I have an opportunity to be my future self? Today I've got an opportunity to be my future self when like I turn up and I do this, even though it's scary. I've got an opportunity when I interrupt negative self-talk. And then, like the last thing I add in, this I think it's my favorite prompt basically. When I think about who I am becoming, a lot of the time I say, keep going, Antonia. And sometimes I do a little smiley face. And it sounds silly, maybe it doesn't sound like anything, but honestly, it really helps me, encouraging myself every day. And which is why I need to get back into that pattern, because it's a useful one, it's a good habit. So I will go home and I will be practicing what I preach, because I need to. I was thinking about God the Father and turning that paternal, maternal lens to ourselves when we're encouraging ourselves through difficult times. If maybe you didn't have those supportive voices growing up, it can be hard to change that inner voice. But with a bit of conscious intention, we can shift the narrative. We're all pretty exhausted and burnt out from the last few months. We've all had so many different experiences within it. And we're not really able to necessarily see an end to it. We've had interruptions to our relationships with our nearest and dearest. It's all against the backdrop of inaction on stopping climate change. There's political unrest in almost every imaginable field. And that's without the regular life stuff and the losses that we face among it. Just all of that, it's so much right now. The least that we can do to ourselves right now is be kind to ourselves as we go through it. Muhammad Ali said, it's the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a conviction, things begin to happen. I want to go back to Lamentations quickly. And I'm just going to look at the passage, and I'm going to do it from the Message version. I'll never forget the trouble, the utter lostness, the taste of ashes, the poison I've swallowed. I remember it all. How well I remember the feeling of hitting the bottom. But there's one thing I remember, and remembering it, I keep a grip on hope. God's loyal love couldn't have run out. His merciful love couldn't have dried up. They're created new every morning. How great your faithfulness. I'm sticking with God. I say it over and over. He's all I've got left. This is hard. You are doing it. Keep going. Be nice to yourself. All right, thank you so much for having me. Dedo is going to come up and do the prayers, but basically, lots of love, everyone.